Hello everybody, I am Cyan Link, bringing you another knife review. Let me give you a little backstory on this. So when I take a new knife into work to test it out, I sometimes get people asking me, like, oh, why do you want to spend $100+ on a knife? Well, I can go out and get an automatic for 20 bucks, and this is basically what they're talking about. So what we have here is a knife as a kiosk knife. So when you go to places, malls, especially like PXs and military posts, you can find these kiosks that are selling low-end knickknacks, and sometimes you can find one that's selling knives. I actually picked this up from one of those kiosks at Fort Bliss. Excuse me. Alright, so basically this is a simple push-button automatic. There is no indication of who made it, except that it says China on the back of the blade, and it does say 440 stainless steel on the front. So that's the only distinguishing features. So I kind of bought this knife just to do this video and show you that, yeah, you can get a $20 knife from a kiosk, but you're going to be sacrificing a lot of areas. And this particular knife's biggest problem is safety. Now, number one, this button. Now, in a good automatic, the button should be slightly recessed. So it's not enough, not so much that you can't push it, but enough that it's not going to, press against your side, potentially open. And as you can see, this one, it sticks out the side of the blade of the knife by a good ½ an inch. That's way too much. And of course, pocket clips over here, this is going to be pressing against your side, and very easy for you to push this open. Secondly, this it has a safety, but the safety is horrible. Number one, I'm going to activate the safety, this little piece right here, push it up. Now, even with the safety activated, and listen closely. So you heard the click, and you might want to full screen so you can see it. Basically, you have a thicker piece that holds the blade in place. Then when you push the button, it pushes the thinner piece out, which allows the knife to come out. The thicker piece, even with the safety on, is now holding on to the blade by about ½ a millimeter, just a hair's breadth, which completely unacceptable. And check this out. So once that happens, if you then push the blade back to release that tension. Oh, it didn't do it that time. But I've had this several times when I do that, and the safety pops down on me. It's just not doing it right now. But even if that doesn't happen, like when I sat down, I noticed my body went ahead and pushed this back down and disengaged it, and I actually did have this knife pop open just like that in my pocket. And luckily, it went through my pants, but it could have easily cut me. And of course, I ruined a $60 pair of uniform pants because I wanted to jump on a knife. This thing, any knife that's going to pop open in your pocket is going to get an instant negative remark from me. I mean, that's like a firearm that's going to go off in its holster. It's pathetic. Let's go over ergonomics. So, this knife is completely uncarryable, both in the hand and in the pocket. First off, the pocket clip is very low. You can see a lot of the knife sticks out. I mean, I'm all good for a little bit sticking out for concealed carry purposes, but this is just ridiculous. The pocket clip itself is not tight enough. I had this knife come out my pocket twice when I was testing it over a couple days. Once when I bent over to pick something up, and a second time when I was jogging, the knife came flying out my pocket. So, not good. And as far as carrying in the hand, of course, a normal carry, your thumb is pressing right down on this safety, which is also bad for me. I like to reactivate the safety when the knife is open, just to make sure the knife's not going to close on my hand. And A, as you can see, I can't do that. B, that thing's going to be digging into your thumb. It's uncomfortable. Now, there is some jimping, but the jimping is also pretty uncomfortable, and it's also uncomfortable to stretch your thumb out that far to reach that jimping. So, altogether, not good stuff. Now, reliability. This knife is being held together by these three pieces of unknown material. Really not enough, and judging by the quality of the rest of the knife, I don't know what that material is made out of. I'm not going to trust this thing to cut anything harder than Jello. And speaking of cutting, let's get to the blade. So the blade does say 440, but it also says made in China. It has no indication of the manufacturer. So for all I know, this blade could be made out of melted Fisher-Price screws, and they just put 440 on the side. It came with an extremely dull edge. I couldn't cut anything with it. I was able to put a bit of an edge on it, nothing as sharp as I would like, but it dulled up again within a couple days. So, absolutely nothing there. So, in conclusion, yes, you can buy a knife for 20 bucks, but you're going to sacrifice safety and reliability and handling and quality. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. If you're going to, one person, you're going to buy one knife that you're going to use for a long time, go ahead and spend 80 to 100 or plus 80 to 100 or more dollars for a knife that's going to last you years. Not something that's going to break after 2 months. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm Cyan Link. This has been my review of Kiosk knives in general. Have a nice day.